You know that nagging ache in your shoulder that just never seems to go away? The one that wakes you up at night, makes it hard to reach for things, and slowly starts limiting what you can do every single day? What if one simple movement, done correctly, could change all of that? Welcome to Prime Health Lab, the channel dedicated to helping you feel stronger, sharper, and more alive after 60. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because every week we bring you the kind of health information that actually makes a difference in your daily life. Today, we're talking about something that affects millions of seniors worldwide: chronic shoulder pain, and more importantly, what you can do about it starting today. Let's begin with something most people never think about: why shoulder pain becomes so common after 60 in the first place. Here's the truth. Your shoulder is the most mobile joint in your entire body. It can rotate, lift, push, pull, and move in almost every direction. That incredible range of motion is exactly what makes it so useful and so vulnerable. Over the decades, the muscles, tendons, and connective tissue surrounding your shoulder joint go through a gradual process of wear. Not damage necessarily, but wear. The kind that comes from years of repetitive movement, poor posture, long hours sitting at a desk, or simply not moving enough. By the time most people reach their 60s, something called the rotator cuff, which is just a group of 4 small muscles that hold your shoulder together and allow it to move smoothly, has already lost a significant amount of its original strength and flexibility. When these muscles weaken, the shoulder joint becomes unstable. And when a joint is unstable, your body compensates by tensing the surrounding muscles to protect it. That constant tension is what you feel as that deep, dull ache. It's not just soreness. It's your body working overtime to protect a joint that no longer has the muscular support it needs. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most people, and unfortunately even some doctors, treat shoulder pain as something you simply manage. You take a painkiller, apply some heat, maybe do a few generic stretches, and hope it gets better. But that approach only addresses the symptom. It never addresses the root cause. And the root cause, in the vast majority of cases for seniors, is muscular imbalance and reduced circulation in and around the shoulder joint. Japan's oldest practicing doctor, a man who spent decades studying the connection between movement and longevity, made a fascinating observation. He noticed that patients who maintained one specific movement pattern consistently, regardless of their age or fitness level, almost never developed chronic shoulder problems. And those who already had shoulder pain and adopted this movement saw dramatic improvements within just a few weeks. Not because the movement was complicated or intense, but because it directly targeted the exact muscles and tissue that break down with age. That movement is what we now call the shoulder reset. And before we get into exactly how to do it, it's important that you understand one more thing. Shoulder pain in seniors is almost never about the shoulder alone. The shoulder is connected to your neck, your upper back, your chest, and even your breathing patterns. When you spend years slightly hunched forward, which most of us do, whether from using phones, sitting at computers, or even just the natural changes in posture that come with aging, your chest muscles shorten and tighten, and the muscles across your upper back and the back of your shoulder become overstretched and weak. This creates a pulling effect on the shoulder joint, like a rope being tugged from the wrong angle. No amount of shoulder-specific stretching will fix that imbalance if you don't address the whole picture. That's exactly what makes the shoulder reset so effective. It doesn't just stretch one area, it rebalances the entire upper body in a single fluid motion. It restores circulation to tissues that have become stiff and undernourished. And it gently reactivates muscles that have essentially gone quiet from years of underuse. Now that you understand why shoulder pain develops and what's really happening beneath the surface, let's talk about the movement itself. The shoulder reset is not a stretch in the traditional sense. It's not something you hold for 30 seconds and release. It's a slow, intentional, flowing movement that takes your shoulder joint through its natural range of motion while simultaneously activating the muscles that support it. Think of it less like a stretch and more like a gentle reset button for your entire upper body. Before you begin, find a comfortable place to sit or stand. If you're sitting, make sure both feet are flat on the floor and your back is not pressed against the chair. You want to sit just slightly away from the backrest so your spine is naturally upright. If you prefer to stand, stand with your feet about hip-width apart, knees very slightly soft, not locked. Take a slow breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. You'd be surprised how many of us are walking around with our shoulders raised toward our ears without even realizing it. That one exhale and release already begins the reset. Now bring your attention to your right arm. Let it hang naturally at your side, completely relaxed. From that relaxed position, you're going to slowly begin drawing a large, smooth circle with your entire arm. Not just your hand, not just your elbow, your whole arm, moving from the shoulder joint itself. Start by letting your arm drift forward, then upward, reaching gently toward the ceiling without forcing or straining, then sweeping it out to the side, and finally letting it fall back down behind you slightly before returning to the starting position. One full, slow, unhurried circle. This should take you about 5 to 7 seconds to complete. Here is where most people make a critical mistake. They do this too fast. Speed removes the benefit entirely. The entire purpose of doing this slowly is to allow the rotator cuff muscles to engage gradually and fully throughout the entire movement. When you move quickly, the larger muscles of the arm take over, and the smaller stabilizing muscles, the ones that actually need the work, never get activated. Slow is everything here. If you feel any sharp or shooting pain at any point in the movement, stop immediately and consult your doctor before continuing. A mild pulling sensation or gentle discomfort is normal, especially in the first few days. Sharp pain is not. After you complete 5 slow circles in one direction, pause for a breath and then reverse the direction. Let the arm drift backward first, rise up, sweep forward, and return down. Again, 5 repetitions, slow and controlled. Then switch to the left arm and repeat the entire sequence. That's one full round of the shoulder reset. In total, it takes you less than 4 minutes. Now here is the part that truly makes this exercise remarkable, and the reason Japan's oldest doctor considered it so essential. After you've completed both arms, there is a third component that most people skip, and it's arguably the most important part of the entire routine. Once both arms have completed their circles, you're going to bring both hands behind your head, interlacing your fingers gently at the base of your skull. From there, without pulling your neck forward, you simply open your elbows out to the sides as wide as they comfortably go, hold for 3 slow breaths, and release. This final movement opens up the chest, decompresses the upper spine, and allows the shoulder blades to settle back into their natural position. Remember that pulling effect we talked about earlier, the one caused by years of forward posture? This is where you begin to reverse it. 3 slow breaths in this position, done at the end of every shoulder reset session, begins to retrain your posture at a muscular level. Not overnight, but consistently, over days and weeks, your upper body starts to reorganize itself around a healthier, more balanced position. Do this entire routine once in the morning and once in the evening. Morning to wake the joint up gently and prepare it for the day. Evening to release the tension that accumulates through daily activity. Within the first week, most people notice they're sleeping more comfortably on their side. Within 2 to 3 weeks, reaching overhead becomes noticeably easier. And within a month, many people find that the constant background ache they'd simply accepted as part of getting older has quietly faded. Consistency is the only thing that separates people who get results from people who don't. You don't need to do more. You don't need to do it harder. You just need to show up for your shoulders every single day, the same way you'd show up for anything else that matters to you. Now that you know how to perform the shoulder reset correctly, let's talk about something equally important. The exercise itself is the foundation, but what you do around it, the small daily habits, the way you breathe, the foods you eat, and even the way you sleep, all of it either supports your recovery or quietly works against it. Think of the shoulder reset as the spark. What we're about to cover is the fuel that keeps that spark alive. Let's start with breathing, because this is the one most people overlook completely. When you're in chronic pain, even low-level background pain like a persistent shoulder ache, your body is in a mild but constant state of stress. And when your body is stressed, your breathing becomes shallow. You breathe from your chest instead of your belly. Your neck and shoulder muscles tighten to assist with that shallow breathing, and without realizing it, you're adding tension to the exact area you're trying to heal. It becomes a quiet, invisible cycle that keeps the pain locked in place. The way to break that cycle is simple. Once a day, ideally in the morning before you do your shoulder reset, practice what is called diaphragmatic breathing for just 3 minutes. Here's how it works. Sit comfortably, place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. Take a slow breath in through your nose for 4 counts, and as you inhale, focus on letting your belly rise while keeping your chest as still as possible. Hold gently for 2 counts, then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 counts, feeling your belly fall. That extended exhale is what activates your body's natural relaxation response. It signals your nervous system that it's safe to release tension. Done consistently before your shoulder reset, it prepares your muscles to move freely instead of from a place of tightness and guarding. Now let's talk about something that directly affects the health of every joint in your body, including your shoulders, and that's hydration. Your tendons and the connective tissue around your shoulder joint are largely made up of collagen, and collagen requires adequate hydration to remain pliable and resilient. When you're even mildly dehydrated, which is extremely common in seniors because the sensation of thirst naturally diminishes with age, your connective tissue becomes stiffer and less elastic. That stiffness increases the friction within the joint, which increases inflammation, which increases pain. The fix is straightforward. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water throughout the day, and make a habit of drinking a full glass first thing every morning before coffee or tea. Your joints will feel the difference faster than you might expect. Next, let's talk about the one nutritional change that has the most direct and well-documented impact on joint health in seniors. And that is increasing your intake of foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3s are natural anti-inflammatories. They work at a cellular level to reduce the kind of chronic low-grade inflammation that drives joint pain in the aging body. You don't need supplements necessarily, though they can help. Simply increasing your consumption of fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or mackerel 2 to 3 times a week makes a measurable difference. If fish isn't your preference, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds are excellent plant-based sources. Within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent intake, many people notice a meaningful reduction in joint stiffness, particularly in the morning. Now let's address sleep position, because this is something almost nobody talks about, and yet it has an enormous impact on shoulder recovery. If you sleep on your side, which most seniors do, the shoulder you sleep on is being compressed for 6 to 8 hours every night. That sustained compression restricts circulation to the very tissues you're trying to heal. The simplest solution is to place a supportive pillow between your arm and your torso when sleeping on your side, so that your shoulder stays in a neutral position rather than being pushed up toward your ear or collapsing inward. This one small adjustment can reduce morning shoulder stiffness dramatically, often within just a few nights. Finally, let's talk about movement throughout the day. The shoulder reset is your dedicated practice, but your shoulders also need gentle, varied movement woven into your daily life. Every hour or so, simply stand up, roll your shoulders backward 3 times slowly, take one deep breath, and reach both arms overhead gently for just a few seconds. That's it. These micro movements prevent the kind of prolonged stillness that allows tension to accumulate and circulation to stagnate. They take less than 30 seconds, and they make an extraordinary difference when done consistently throughout the day. When you combine the shoulder reset with conscious breathing, proper hydration, anti-inflammatory nutrition, smart sleep positioning, and regular micro movements, you're not just addressing shoulder pain. You're creating the internal conditions that allow your entire body to heal, adapt, and stay strong. That is exactly what Japan's oldest doctor understood. It was never about one magic cure. It was about building a simple, sustainable daily environment where pain has no room to take root. If you've stayed with us this far, you already have everything you need to begin. The shoulder reset takes less than 4 minutes. The breathing practice takes 3. The habits we talked about require nothing more than a little water, a few thoughtful food choices, and a pillow placed in the right spot. None of this is complicated. None of it is expensive. And all of it is completely within your reach, starting today. Your shoulders have carried you through decades of life. They deserve this kind of attention, and you deserve to move through your days without that constant limiting ache holding you back from the things and the people you love. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more seniors just like you find this channel and access information that can genuinely improve their quality of life. Share it with a friend or family member who has been struggling with shoulder pain, because sometimes the right information at the right moment changes everything. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now and ring that notification bell, because every week on Prime Health Lab we bring you straightforward, science-backed guidance designed specifically for life after 60. You are not too old to feel better. You are not too far gone to get stronger. You just need the right tools and the right guidance. And that is exactly what we're here for. We'll see you in the next one.
Prime Health Lab is dedicated to men's internal health. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.